Chapter 115 The Vanguard of Air. The ground of the Arena of Peace felt colder than ever beneath the motionless bodies of Veratros and Fuma. High above, the evacuation had devolved into pure, unadulterated madness. Screams bounced off the stone walls as thousands of citizens fought their way toward the exit corridors. The airships overhead hummed aggressively, their loading ramps lowering as captains barked orders over the din of the panic. Even Suru, the loud and energetic commentator who had anchored the entire tournament, abandoned his microphone. Leaving his broadcast booth empty, he vanished into the back tunnels of the stadium. Floating lazily in the center of the chaos, Ishori brought the shiny green cube back up to his eye level. He turned it over in his hand, watching the light catch its glassy facets. "This one will be enough, I think," he murmured to himself, his voice completely casual despite the storm brewing around him. With a flick of his wrist, he tossed the cube out of the arena. It soared over the high stadium walls, falling into the vast, deserted, volcanic wasteland that bordered the grounds the very same dead. Landscape that Daku had left completely scorched and ruined long ago. The cube landed with a soft thud in the black ash. For a second, nothing happened. Then a blinding, emerald green light erupted from the core of the object, shooting a massive pillar energy straight into the dark sky. The earth violently trembled. Ishori stretched his arms wide, his joints popping. Finally, some action," he muttered, followed immediately by another lazy yawn. As the pillars of green light began to fade, a terrifying silhouette emerged from the smoke. It was a giant, heavily armored warrior, standing a colossal 20 meters tall. The creature looked like a living fortress. A walking mountain of overlapping, jagged iron armor fused with pulsing green. Crystals. Attached to its massive back was a spiked shield the size of a warship and a colossal, jagged greatsword that looked heavy enough to split a mountain. Ishori looked down at the behemoth and cupped his hands around his mouth, shouting lazily, "Hey, destroy this place. I don't really have the energy for this. I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep." From the boredom. With his orders given, Ishori floated up even higher into the clouds, crossing his arms over his chest to watch the impending slaughter from a safe, detached distance. The green crystal giant blinked its glowing eyes, looking around the apocalyptic wasteland. Its gaze locked onto a massive boulder resting near the arena wall. The rock was easily 10 meters wide, half the size of the giant itself. Walking over with heavy, earth-shaking steps, the giant gripped the boulder with its massive stone hands, lifting it effortlessly over its head. Targeting the center of the stadium where the unconscious fighters lay, the giant hurled the rock with full, terrifying power. The boulder sliced through the air like a meteor, moving with such immense speed that it whistled, threatening to crush the entire arena floor to dust. But just as it was about to breach the stadium wall, boom! A streak of blinding red light intercepted the projectile. In a fraction of a second, the massive boulder was violently smashed into harmless dust and tiny scattering pebbles. The dust cleared to reveal a towering, mechanical entity standing firmly on the arena's outer wall. It was a giant, red, knight-like robot standing at roughly 10 meters tall, half the size of the crystal behemoth, but radiating a fierce, polished power. Ingrained deeply on its chest plate was the proud, swirling crest of the Air Kingdom. The heavy armor plating on the robot's chest suddenly became translucent, revealing the cockpit inside. Sitting at the control matrix, his hands gripping the dual steering levers, was Suru. The referee's usual theatrical, smiling expression was completely gone. His eyes were narrowed, his jaw set, and his face was dead serious as he stared down the threat to his homeland.